I've been in America for almost 10 years at this point, and I still don't know how to answer questions like, how are you? How are you doing? How's it going?
English, motherfucker! Do you speak it? Yes! Then you know what I'm saying.
And before you come at me and say, hello, what do you mean? Like, you literally made a video telling us how to answer questions like these. And that's on me for not prefacing that video by saying, hey, by the way, this is what you say to people that you just met. It's all very formal, very bland. The issue I have today in this video is I never know what to say to those questions when it's someone that I've known for some time. Because we all know that sometimes, actually a lot of the times, how are you just means hi. Like, your grocery cashier doesn't actually want to know how you've been. They're expecting, oh, good, how are you? Like, you're just obligated to lie. Let's face it, we're never doing good, okay? When I say, I'm doing fantastic, really, what I meant is,
I don't want to get into it.
Also, how are you is such a loaded question. Like, you don't think about it like that unless you really think about it. Every time I get asked by a close friend, how are you, Ella? I'm just like, yeah, I've never thought about it. Like, how exactly am I? Like, I always feel put on the spot because I go about my days just not checking in with myself ever. And even if I'm actually having a good time or actually having a good day, I've lied about doing great when I'm really not doing great before. So even when I do mean it, it feels like I'm lying. Does that make sense? And this isn't the asker's fault. It's not even my fault, really. I'm just an overthinker, if you haven't noticed. Like, us Chinese don't do that. When we want to greet people, we just say, hi. End of story. You might say it's cold. I call it efficient. By the way, who came up with the idea of like this back and forth round of greeting where
you say, oh, how are you? And I say, good. And I ask you back, how are you? And then you say, good, thank you.
It always... Why does it have to take 3 sentences? Literally anything else works. Like, did you do anything fun this weekend? Watched any shows recently? What is your hot take? Anything to get the ball rolling, anything to break the ice, so to speak. When I say that, I don't mean let's replace deep and meaningful conversations with those questions. I just mean when there's some tension, when both you and the other person have this guard. When you have this guard, it's probably a better idea to pick something that's lighthearted just so you can get the conversation off the ground. So I propose that we kill the small talk. And don't get me wrong, the opposite of small talk isn't big talk or serious talk. Like, you don't have to talk about philosophy or like the news. The opposite of small talk could just be silly talk, passionate talk, spontaneous talk, or even childlike talk. Kids don't have linear conversations. They'll literally go from what's your favorite color to, oh, what does that word mean that you just said? Or why is your hair funny? And for some reason, once we become adults, we're so fixated on being serious. We could skip all that logistics and, you know, even come back to it some other time. There is a time and place for me to get to know you better, like get to know the details in your life. But when I first meet you, I couldn't care less about what you do for work or what your name is, to be honest. And I don't expect anyone to care about mine. What I do care about is, what are you passionate about in life? Okay, tell me something interesting about yourself. Tell me something interesting that happened during the week. Once we start laughing, once we have this nice rhythm, have this nice back and forth, once we establish common interest or even common personality traits, then we can talk about anything. We can become best friends in just one meeting. Like, you don't have to wait 3 months. Does that make sense? I'm on to you. Okay?